8 weeks or so. And for the most part, it's okay, but there's still one thing that I didn't even know I could live without. Now, even though there are some things that are not great on this so-called budget-friendly iPhone, which I will talk about later on in the video, there are so many things that are great, and I think I will start off with those. If you've been watching my videos, and if you haven't, then feel free to subscribe, but you know that I always start off with the visuals. And this is a beautiful device in my eyes. Not only is this basic yet classy at the same time, but also a light and great device. I got the matte white and I do not regret this one bit. Not at all. That one camera module makes this phone look so simple, and the aluminum sides makes it stick out a little more premium in the visual side. You even have an action button that I honestly don't even use. You get the 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display, which is pretty much the same across all 16 models. You also get the 60 Hz refresh rate. I wish we could have gotten at least a 90 Hz because you can get some great gameplay on here, but I'll get later on in the video about that. You get a notch with the same 12 megapixel front camera. Not a deal breaker for me, but really a lot of people like Dynamic Island for some weird reason. And this is just coming in at 167 grams with no case. But since this is a $600 phone, you will need to get a case, and that's where our friends from ESR help us out. Like I said, this is a $600 phone, and you will want to protect this so you can use it for years to come. And this is where the Halo Lock Tough case that our friends from ESR sent over. This is a 3-layer structure to resist those falls with an exceeding 7-time grade military protection. That being said, this can stand drops for up to 7 meters or 23 feet on our US audience. This also has something that the iPhone 16e doesn't, MagSafe, which you can use it with all MagSafe accessories that you have, including this wallet that our good friends over at ESR sent over. If you're interested in purchasing any of these or any other model, please check out ESR website. They have a wide selection of accessories for all your devices. Use code AMIGO20 off to receive 20% off your next purchases. I will put the link in the description below. Once again, thank you to our friends over at ESR for sending over these great products. And now, let's get back to the video. A huge upgrade that was not entirely Apple's choice, but was rather forced into a little bit. That's the USB-C port. This might not be a big deal if you don't transfer any files or charge via wire, but for me, it is. Now that mostly everything is USB-C, this is really useful when going on a trip per se, so you only bring 1 or 2 of the same USB-C cables. This is also great for accessories like hubs and external drives. I got the base model, which is only 128 gigabytes of storage, and boy do I regret it. I really wish I had gotten to 256 gigabytes of storage because I'm almost full. I really think that for a cell phone these days, a minimum should be 256, and for a laptop, it should be 512. But that's a whole different story. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for future videos about that. Now inside, you do get the A18 chip, which is almost the same as the 16 normal iPhone, but a bit different. You get a 6-core CPU, 2 performance, and 4 efficiency cores, but the difference is you only get 4 GPUs rather than the 5 on the iPhone 16, one less. This is not noticeable to me, but if you are planning on editing videos or playing AAA games, which you can by the way on this budget-friendly phone, you might want to rethink this purchase. However, you do get 8 gigabytes of RAM, so you can still have all your apps open and play good games at a good amount of time before this device does get a little hot. And while playing games, this is where I do wish I had at least 90 Hz of refresh rate on the display. I've been playing games on the Mac Mini M2 Pro, and my display there I get up to 165, but really those games only go up to about 100. still a difference that I can see. Because of the low storage that I have, I don't play that many games on this iPhone 16e. But the 8 gigabytes of RAM also helps support Apple Intelligence. I personally do not use this feature often, but it's here. So when they eventually do roll everything that was promised about 9 months ago in WWDC, you will be able to enjoy on this device. One piece of hardware that Apple did not cheap out on us is the 48 megapixel main camera. Well, kind of. You see, even though on paper you do see the number 48, the sensor is a bit smaller than even the 48 megapixel main camera from the iPhone 15. So Apple had to request this from its supplier, a camera module specifically for this modeled iPhone. With that being said, will the average consumer like us see the difference? Maybe. Here are some pictures that I took using the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 16e. If you pixel peep, you will spot the difference. But if you upload to social media, which depending on the platform, they will reduce the resolution anyway. So technically the answer is no. But if you are into details, then yeah, go ahead. Go with the high-end DSLR camera. At the beginning of the video, I did mention that there was one thing that I didn't know I could live without, and that's the ultra wide camera, the 0.5 feature. I didn't notice, but I did use that a lot. From talking in front of the camera to short form content, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. I should get that tattooed. And for the last part, this iPhone 16e, which base price comes at 600 US dollars, does not have MagSafe, but it does have an action button. I would prefer it be the other way around, but then again, I really go bare without any of my iPhones. I always use a case like this one that our friends from ESR sent over that does have MagSafe included. And the action button, I have the visual intelligence feature that I rarely use. I was thinking about changing the option on the action button to silent mode, but I got used to just switching silent and non-silent on the control center, so it's okay. Overall, this budget-friendly iPhone is good, but it would have been a lot better at a $500 starting price. By the way, depending where you are in the world, the price will be different. For example, for me here in Mexico, I paid 15,000 pesos, which is about 750 US dollars. So technically, even though this is cheaper than the other iPhones in the 16 lineup, this is still a pretty big price point. This may be a huge selling iPhone in the months to come. That all depends on the tariffs. Do I recommend this iPhone? Yes, but only if you are barely getting into the Apple ecosystem, or if this is for your son or daughter that is going to get their first cell phone. For people like my mom and dad, this is okay because they really don't care as long as they get a good phone with good pictures and can send messages and make and receive calls. Oh, by the way, the battery life on this, chef's kisses. I think I could go about a day and a half on normal use. If I do decide to go extreme and play video games and be all day on TikTok and stuff like that, then yeah, maybe one day, but for the most part, a day and a half, this iPhone, no problem. But if you're someone that uses a lot of social media, likes a lot of details and pictures, and wants to play AAA games for long periods of time, then maybe this iPhone is not for you. One thing I forgot to mention is the C1 chip that's in here. I live in Mexico, so I don't get a lot of 5G coverage, but I do think that C1 chip is helping me out with my battery. Almost a day and a half.